leaders, and also a lot of death of the public. And that's why it's called the Saba Saba Day. So that is essentially what my understanding of Saba Saba at that time is. Maybe my understanding of Saba Saba of you, Juzi, would be a bit different, but in its original context, I think that was the whole essence of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Higgins, according to you, is...
Saba Saba should not be according to a person.
What is?
Anything which is part of history happened. It's not a perspective, and I think as I has rightly put, it was for clamor for the multi-party democracy. So they had an agenda first. Kenya then was not a democracy.
Yes.
It was a one-party state. The constitution then had no this Bill of Rights.
Yes.
That we
It was restricted.
So from that clamor, bore fruit to this. So those were organized people, leaders, fighting for something that is straightforward. We want this, we want this, we want this, and I think they achieved 10% of the objective.
Walikuwa na agenda.
Walikuwa na agenda. Na agenda yao ilikuwa imecrystallize. Na ikakuwa actionable. Baada Moi akarepeal section 2. Tukakuwa na
many parties.
Tangu Moi ametaka kumaliza tu, ukijua tiketi ya KANU.
Ni hivyo.
Hakuna mahali ingine unaenda. Kama vile sasa Gachagua alitoka UDA, angeenda mahali ingine. Angebaki tu hivyo. So I think our leaders then were visionary.
Yeah.
And they achieved what they wanted to achieve. Hii ya juzi ya destruction of property. Usipoona kitu yote ya commemorate Saba Saba as it were. That one is dangerous.
Yenye ili happen juzi.
Na utaona emergency ya criminal gangs kwanza.
Very true.
Once somebody has tested blood, you always want for more. Then you put hapa nyeke road block. Kupitisha 2,000 ndio upite.
Ndio upite.
Kesho nikiwa broke. Nataka kwenda tena road block. Upite. Na hiyo ndio tunaanza kuwa na failed
policies. Ni kama tunataka kurudi anarchy. Ni kama na huko ndo tunaelekea sasa tukiendelea kwenda hivi.
Unajua advice hapa anakuambia Somalia. Big secular state. 90s until overthrow the government. Sasa wako 34 years.
Bila.
Yeah, the wilderness.
Kama South Sudan pia. Sudan pia. Sudan. Yeah, Sudan.
Libya, Congo,
Endless circle.
So, nyinyi watu wadogo, mimi naweza advise kitu moja. Yeah? Think of the unintended consequences of your actions. So, museme, hii maandamano yenu ni ya kukosa ajira, ni ya Ruto must go, regime change, crystallize to
Action. Tukue na action points.
Watu wajue. Because myself I'm a supporter of the president. Na pia sisi tukishikana, we can feel the street pia. But demokrasia ikubali hiyo. Ndio ndio pige kura wahesabiwe. Because kila mtu akona watu wengi pia.
Kila mtu akona watu wake.
Raila Odinga alikuwa na 6.9 million votes, William Ruto alikuwa na 7.1. What 6.9 there are many people.
There are very many people.
Nairobi. But mimi nataka tu unaonaje wewe?
Generally nikiangalia hiyo these maandamano ya juzi ya Saba Saba, for me I think even calling it Saba Saba is in itself an insult.
It is.
Because Saba Saba was associated with something very particular, and it was moving the country towards a certain direction, and it was able to achieve the objectives why it was there. So many people suffered in the struggle to do that.
Type, yeah.
But then they were able to achieve it because it was crystal clear. But now when I look at what happened on this Saba Saba, plus what happened on the other one just before this one. I don't know that time, what was now being called the commemoration of the 24th. I feel
25th.
like it is high time, 25th.
Yeah.
It's high time that tukubali kwamba as young people, there are very important things that we really need. The problem of unemployment is a real problem, is a real challenge for the country. Young people don't have jobs. We have a real challenge of the justice system. We have a real challenge of extrajudicial killing. Those are real challenges. Now, can we be able to have a way of addressing the real challenge? So, and for us to address the real challenge, we must first accept that we have suffered political interference and civil society interference. Juu sasa, kuna vijana wenye wanaenda pale kwa street with a very clear cut agenda. Wanataka tu job. Hawa say tu wanataka job. Hawa say wanataka tu the education to be made better. But then, it's high time we accept that. Kuna sasa wase wenye, they are seated back, people in the political space, wana take advantage. Kwa sababu hiyo kitu inasukuma a certain political agenda. So, because we are in politics, me and Higgins are running for the same seat. Na wewe you have a problem with Higgins. If you have a problem with Higgins, then you automatically become my friend. Because then you are helping me to push Higgins. You get? Now, even ndo vijana wanatumiwa sasa. Kwamba kuna tu wase wamekaa mahali mtu amegundua, by the way, si election inakuja. Na wase wanajaribu kusema huyu atoke. Na si mimi navai. So, the more I push them to make things ungovernable, the better. Na ndio sababu wameka hiyo infiltration. Ndio sababu ukiangalia utapata, initially when the young people were alone, wakiwa peke yao kabisa, hapo ndo majority leader, I don't know the majority leader who, alienda akasema watu wanakula tu KFC. Na alisema watu wakukula, alisema watu wakuja na Uber, na kuja na KFC, exactly. So majority leader alisema hivyo. Si ndio? But they made a statement ile tuliona, watu waliona wase wengi wenye wajaona tao, wase wa young, na walikuwa na there was no violence. Hakuna mse waliweka mziki, hakuna mse alikufa, there was no nothing. Lakini sasa from there going forward, siasa ikaanza kuingia ndani, wanasiasa wakaanza kumisuse the young people, na watu wa pili ni civil society. Mi huuliza young people waniambie, I ask young people, Higgins, one question. I ask them, since you were born and since the day you knew a person like Boniface Mwangi, when has he said the country was going the right way? Because the country cannot be perpetually in a problem since you were born. Like somebody who has never seen anything good about anybody since they were born. The moment as a young person you start asking yourself those questions, you'll start understanding that we uko vitu zako honest, but kuna mse yako job. Kuna mse mwenye job yake ni vitu hazifai kuwaka. Unapata?
Useful idiots.
Umse hehe.
No, it's not an insult, it's a term. You can check it. Kama ujui unaweza angalia Google.
A useful idiot in the society.
Yeah.
Then useful idiot, you think you're fighting for a cause,
Yes.
a good cause, but some people are taking advantage. You cannot see it yourself. You think you're fighting for your rights, for nini, but kuna watu wanalipwa. You see, kwa ile chaos theory, Saba, wanasema a small action, kila kitu iko na pattern, the butterfly, the pattern. So, ukienda kwa maandamano, kuna pattern utaona. Kuna kuona trigger. So the first trigger ilikuwa finance bill, or extrajudicial killing, kuna trigger. And then kuna online mobilization. So inakuwa sensational, emotional mobilization. Then siku ya maandamano, D-Day, inakuja, inaanza vizuri. Kunakuwa pia na police action or inaction. Inakuja, ina escalate vitu, mawe inatembea kidogo, jioni inafika, watu wanaenda nyumbani, wanangojea siku nyingine. So mimi nikiwa na hasira yangu haifai kuwa ya siku yenye mipango peke yake, alafu tunarudi. No, if I'm fighting for something, haiwezi isha ati juu Saba Saba imeisha ama 25th imeisha, tunangoja the next one. Okay, so hawa wanasiasa wanapenda kuchukua advantage ya certain
moment.
That's why nasema nyinyi young people mko na so many tools at your disposal ya ku verify facts, ku check fake news, kuangalia. Uliona ule anaongea na confidence kwa ile mkutano ya badi, sema iko same thing na ile finance bill ilirejectiwa. Ilikuwa na vitu mingi which were not factual, zilikuwa nje, but reaction yetu ilikuwa tofauti. So mimi ningesema hivi, hii maneno ya unemployment, it's very big for the young people, but there's no magic of solving the unemployment. Na hii unemployment mingi imeletwa na masomo. Nataka niwapee where the rain started beating us. You see, enzi zetu qualification university imekuwa throughout C+. Okay? During our time, it was still C+, but government hainge accommodate everyone. So kulikuwa na cut-off point. Ya B plane of some certain points. Maybe ilikuwa inavari kwa
66,
men, female,
65.
Alafu na rural areas ile walikuwa wanapewa some slight advantage. The rest kulikuwa na programs ile self-sponsored. Parallel module 2 students na private university. So unapata if 100,000 students wame qualify kwenda university, government was only paying for 20%. No, of the students. So the rest, kama una pesa, safari yako ya kuenda nini, inaishia. If your family is well off, unazaenda parallel program upate degree. So government ya kitambo haikuwa inajali, bora imesema pesa tuko nayo ni cut off ni hii, hiyo ita finance hao wengine wataenda. Now kuja huko mbele, the last term ya Uhuru, everybody mwenye alikuwa na C+, hata kama uko na kwa private university ulikuwa unapata capitation. Ulikuwa unapata capitation. So kila mtu alikuwa analipiwa. So ikaanza kuleta pressure kwa funding kwanza za university. Then Kibaki, what he did, he converted many mid-level colleges
into universities.
So ulikuwa unapata kila mtu akona degree, business, social sciences, arts, BSc, uko na nini. Hii hapa katikati ikakufa. Hawa ma-artisans, hawa plumbers, electrician, nini. And you know, hiyo ecosystem, haikuangi ecosystem ya kutafuta kazi. Inakuanga ya self-employment. Unaset electrical shop yako hapo, unaenda unafanya nini. Mimi nakupigia nataka plumbing services, unakuja unanifanyia. Sasa hii ni very hard. Sasa hii mimi natafutanga plumber, mpaka naeka online, mtu anitafutie plumber. It's very hard. So the government ikaanza kuweka TVET sasa, zirudi kuchukua hiyo skill. So unapata tuko na so many graduates who are unemployed, and most of their courses zilikuwa theoretical. So yezi translate unless ufanye vitu yako wengine. So unapata mtu alifanya certain course, unapata anaendesha bodaboda ama anafanya. So kuna mismatch ya private. So university, because zilikuwa hazikuwa zinajali job market ya hii course ita accommodate watu wangapi. This course ndio ikuwe na number, ikuwe na cut off point. Hii course tumechukua enough. Waonde some programs yenye itatosha wengine. So kuna hiyo challenge ya unemployment. Now vijana wanaandamana unemployment. President si peke yake yako na solution. Kila mtu anafaa kuja na solution ya unemployment. Na solution si kuharibia mtu mwenye amejifungulia duka, unavunja nini yake, unaendelea kuongeza hiyo unemployment. The more unashinda kwa street, the more biashara inafungwa, the more serikali ipate ushuru, the more sasa pia serikali itashindwa kulipa walimu, itashindwa kulipa daktari. So the more tunaendelea kwa in the deep. So we need to figure out how do we come up with a solution? Tuangalie shida zetu ni gani, vile wale watu ya Saba Saba waliangalia hiyo siku yao, wakasema wanataka multi-party democracy, wanataka nini, and they achieved it. Siku za Kenyatta walisema shida ya Kenya ni poverty, ignorance and disease. So unapata hiyo kitambo walijenga mashule. Kenyatta, Moi, hizo all au president wa kitambo walijenga mashule across the country. Hospitali kulikuwa na hizo machanjo everywhere. Unapata chanjo nini, kila mtu anapata. So they tried to sort out the issue of disease. Hii poverty walijaribu. Kulikuwa na programs za serikali, factories zilikuwa zinafanya, kulikuwa na kina Kikomi, Rivertex, nini, so many things zilikuwa zinafanya until population ikaboom. Atungeweza kunini kila mtu. So hapo ndo shida ilianza. So mimi ningesema as young people we need to diagnose the problem. Kwanza shida ni hii, shida ni hii, shida ni hii. Then we sit down tukuje na solution. Ama sijui sasa tutashinda tu cycle maandamano, tunaachieve nini? Kesho tena maandamano. What do we want to achieve? Ukifungia mtu njia hapa una achieve nini? Kwa nini ile marathon ya Nairobi wako kufunga njia na watu walikaa tu vizuri, hakuna guns waliingilia?
I think nakubaliana sana na Higgins. You see, but pia before we even look at anything, lazima tupate the context of the problem. Most of the time, we are seated in Kenya and then we imagine that we are very special from the world. When you look at it today, the youth bulge in Africa, it's an African problem.
Not a Kenyan problem.
It's not a Kenyan problem. Over 60% of the population in Africa is young people. And periodically, even the UN has kept warning that there is going to be a problem in Africa. Kwa sababu, vijana ni wengi, and the opportunities are limited. You get? So, for us to get into a solution, first of all, let us decipher the truth. We will know that ukweli ni ati, yes, there's an unemployment challenge, but it's an African problem. It is not a Kenyan problem. That is the first thing we need to understand. So that way we will know that you see even hii kitu ilifanyika Kenya, itafanyika hata Uganda, itafanyika nini, itafanyika kila mahali. If governments don't take precaution. Now, then tukisha kubali ukweli sasa tuangalie, so how do we navigate around this? How do we solve this problem? Tuseme, what is government doing? Yeah? Mimi, unajua mimi si kama Higgins. Higgins voted for this government. Me, I didn't. But you see, the first thing that I'm supposed to do is, can I first of all see what is it they are doing without me being emotional, without me just being just mad. You see, what is it? And when I'm trying to look at them, ngali hivi nasema, enyewe, hawa sasa employ 76,000 teachers. That is the highest since independence. That is a truth. It's not a manufactured thing. Lazima niangalie nione, hawa say, hii housing project yao, one employ around 200,000 people. Now, what is the difference between hawa say hawa wana-employ na hao wengine, maybe wenye si tuli-employ kama Jubilee? Unajua si tukifanya kazi kwa vijana, we were also trying to solve that same problem of the unemployment. But kazi kwa vijana ilikuwa ya skill ya wase fulani peke yao. Unapata? Hii ya housing, msee ameenda shule pia ako na job hapo. But hii ingine haikuwa ina cut across. So this is something they have tried to do. Wameleta hii concept ya kazi majuu. Yeah? Does it have its challenges? It has its teething challenges. Lakini kuna wase wameenda. Ni ukweli kuna wase wameenda, si ndio? So nikishaangalia hivyo nijiulize, okay, sawa, hizi ndo wamedu. Now, mimi naona wafanye nini more? You get? Then now I'm supposed to say, guys, hii policy ya gava on industrialization ina discourage foreign investors kuinvest Kenya. So mimi nikikaa mnafaa niseme, we, Higgins na watu wa serikali, hii foreign policy, hii policy on industrialization, this one, if we changed it this way, we will be able to enable the private sector to thrive and therefore will create more jobs. Sawa sawa. Niangalie niseme unaona nini? Wale wase wenye, what is the minimum wage bill? Niangalie niseme hapana, gava nyinyi fanyeni hivi. Sikumeni minimum wage bill isonge hapa juu. Yeah? So that mwenye ako na job sasa naye pia aweze kuandika house help. Now we will all be contributing towards having a solution. But nikikaa na niseme unajua mimi sikuvotia Ruto. So atoke hakuna kitu, so then what? The question is then what? You see? If I choose to say hakuna kitu amedu, you see, I'll also be being naive. The only way for us to have substantive conversation is we must start from accepting the truth. Is this government a saint? Has it done everything? No. Lakini tuanze na hapa. Nini imefanyika? Lazima tuanze na kusema okay fine. Unajua saa hii tuko na PS wa youth Hatuko na PS wa youth. Saa hii tuko na PS wa youth mwenye ni youth. Tumekuanga na PS wa youth mwenye si youth. Sasa saa hii tuko na PS wa youth mwenye ako 29 years. Si ndio? Hiyo ni fact. Sasa unajua the problem is when you are too angry, you are too clouded with emotion, you stop reasoning. And that's why I've kept advocating for, let us calm down. Then let us reason. When we start reasoning, we will start knowing that this is the challenge, this is the solution. We'll start knowing that this challenge is navigated this way. For instance, I've kept saying, wakati kuna shida ya justice, tunasema tunataka justice for the people who lost their lives. But tunataka justice kwa president. Now, that gets us complicated because unajua ni sisi tulijipatia 2010 constitution. The 2010 constitution ikasema justice itapeanywa na judiciary. And then we said we have the judiciary is an independent arm of government. But when we are demanding justice, we are demanding it from the president. Now, when we become objective, we'll realize, okay, the demand is true, but where it's being directed to, there is a challenge. Sindio? So tutachukua hiyo enga tuseme, badala ya kusema sasa, Ruto must go, tukifika kwa question ya justice, tutasema judiciary, we want accountability. We want you guys to tell us in the last, since these cases started last year with the people who lost their lives, hizi cases zimefika wapi? Tutaipeleka kwa judiciary juu tumeamua ku reason, sasa tuko na direction. Tukikuja situation ya unemployment, the way I've told you, we'll also be able to look and say, okay, kwa hii gava, hizi ni vitu rais amefanya, fine. Lakini kuna National Employment Authority. So tutaamka chini, tuseme, sisi kama vijana tumesema ni aje, wewe CEO wa National Employment Authority, hebu tupatie data in the last 2 years. Wewe, how many people have been able to be employed? Tutaangalia tuseme kuna vijana wako campus, wanahitaji internship. Sindo? Tutafocus tuseme nyinyi wasewa NITA. Juu hapo ndo hiyo story iko. Sio Ruto too must go. Because what we are doing is, we are making some people wanakuwa too comfortable. Mse tu wako tu kwa ofisi tu amekaa. Unaona? Umse hafanyangi yeni. But unajua PC yake kwa wapi? Si mtu mwenye vijana watalaumu ni nani? Ni Ruto must go. So cascade downwards, tutaweza kubreak down hii issue na tujue hii ndio issue na hii na hii. Na tukifanya hivyo, wale wanasiasa, the politicians who are taking advantage of us, itakuwa very hard for them to take advantage because they will realize that the young people have become objective. And there is one thing I always tell young people, that hakuna mwanasiasa anatakanga mwananchi afikirie. Hakuna. Because the currency of a politician is the ignorance of the masses. So hakuna mwanasiasa anataka wewe ufikirie. That's why mwanasiasa anaamka asubuhi anakuambia unajua ni aje? Our policy hata wanafaa wangolewe wote. Si ndio? Lakini jana yeye ndiye alisema nini? Yeye ndiye alisema unajua our policy, hiyo gani yao is not a toy. This is what the former deputy president said when he was in office. Alituambia hiyo time mimi nilikuwa maandamano. Tukisema maandamano yetu ya sufuria pale na Azimio. Yeye alituambia hii gun si toy. Sawa? Sahi yako nje. Sasa akiwa nje amechange language. So tukireason tutaona tuone hapana. Hapa hivi kuna mtu anatuenjoy. Tukireason tutaona huyu jamaa alituambia aliitisha press conference. Karibu alie pale Karen. Akisema ni aje, President, I am sorry. Sawa sawa? I'm sorry. Mbona alikuwa na apologize? Juu alitaka kubaki kwa gava. Sai juu wako nje ati gava ni mbaya. Unaona sasa lazima tu reason. Tukireason tutaanza kuona hizi vitu. Tukireason tutaangalia tuone huyu Justin Muturi. Tujiulize, msesi alikuwa attorney general. Mse alisema ati mtoi wake amekuwa abducted. Sindo? And even after saying that the child had been abducted, akaambiwa na gava, hebu kuja kuwa CS. Akachukua graciously. Mbona hakujama akatae kuchukua hiyo kazi mpaka juu kuna hii story ya mtoi wake. This person took the job graciously. In fact, the person took the job and he served until the government itself threw him out. He didn't resign, he was thrown out. Then after he's thrown out, he comes and tells us, you know what? This government is very bad. When we reason, we will start seeing the things for what they are. That's why I keep saying, young people, cut down on emotions. I know we are annoyed. We don't have jobs, we don't have all this. It is fine. But the only way forward is we must breathe in and breathe out and calm. Then we start looking for what are the real issues. If it's a government, what have they done, what have they not done? Then tutaulizia the right questions. We will ask the right questions to the right people and demand the correct answers from the right institutions. Otherwise, there's a reason somebody wants us to have these generalized things. Oh, Ruto must go. There's a reason someone wants us to remain like that. Antaka tuzungukie tu hapo. Kwa sababu hiyo ndo objective yake. So tunafaa tujue, no matter how angry we are, we are serving someone's objective. So let us come back and start serving our own objective. Tuanze kujiuliza hii problem tunaisolve aje. Yeah.
And I think you are right. The president yesterday asked kama unemployment inaanza na yeye. Kama watu ni kwa street walikuwa na kazi bila ameingia.
Wamepoteza
kazi. So what the president was saying is simple. These challenges, the one we're dealing with, they are not unique to this government. Everything from extrajudicial killings, from unemployment, from all those problems have been there. Meaning, a regime change alone is not sufficient.
Yeah.
So whoever wants to be a leader, you know, I was very happy with the first maandamano, the finance bill. Because there was something they were dealing with, taxation, remove this, we don't want this, we don't want this. So at the end of such discourse, you come up with solutions. Okay? Now, what my friend has said here is true. Politicians want ignorant masses. So that atasema, mimi nikichaguliwa, I'll be giving you 10,000 every month. Or I'll do ABCD.
Yeah.
Without questioning, because the only source of money for government is taxation and debt. So if somebody tells you he will do this, you have to question further.
How?
Yes, we want to remove Ruto. 1, 2, 3, Maraga wants to be president, this one wants to be president, Omtata wants to be president, Kalonzo wants to be president, everybody. Morara, I don't know who, Gen Z A, B, because they want to be president. Now bring them to the table and ask them, what will you do? They'll say ABCD, I'll build roads, I'll build the classic response.
The promise is always the same.
The same.
Yeah.
Now go a step further and ask them,
How
do you intend
to do it?
do it?
That's where the problem is.
Yes, that's where we get the problem now. And then ask, how will you raise
This amount of money.
the money? Okay? Once we start asking those questions, we'll start getting a crop of leadership that now understand the challenges
Needs to be done.
and proposes solutions. Okay? But if they say there will be mandamano tomorrow, it's okay. They're right. They'll go to the street. Some goons will hijack. They'll vandalize some properties. They'll go back home. Some will have achieved something. Because to them, a successful mandamano is the one that they write the total shutdown.
Yeah.
So shops have been closed.
Destruction of
towns
properties.
Mpaka they even celebrate it.
They celebrate. That's their success of their maandamano, and they use it as to intimidate government to give in. Okay?
Yes.
I've given you an example of this marathon, the city marathons.
Yeah, last week.
That's tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And they were chanting. Most of them were Cheruto must go.
Yeah, one time.
But it was peaceful.
It was peaceful.
It was not hijacked. Do you know why? The organizers.
There was leadership.
We'll have on a certain day, certain time, certain route. We'll have a marathon to pass here,
To go
to
there.
here, to here.
We finish at
We
2
finish
p.m.
at here. The police issued a traffic closure. This road between this time and this time, then it will be closed. Between this time and this time, it will be closed. So these maandamano need to be organized. And there's a law.
And away from, in fact, Higgins, away from maandamano just being organized, it's also important for us to know that maandamano is not the only way of agitation.
Yes.
It's not the only way to air our problems. There are so many ways. We can present memoranda in parliament. We can be able to call ourselves together, put up and say, this is the kind of policy that we want. And we are able to get to parliament and say, tell one of the MPs, table this in parliament. Yeah, those are avenues and ways. We can write letters. Yeah, letters can also be written. They are also part and parcel of. So it is not to mean that anytime we need anything, it's always about maandamano. And we must also understand that our right to demonstrate does not blind the other person's right to do business.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's not an absolute right.
It's not an absolute. It doesn't mean, because in Kenya we have gotten to a point where tunaongeleanga tu right moja. But kuna msee mwenye alifaa kwenda mjengo hiyo day ya maandamano. Na msee analipwanga 400 bob akienda mjengo na ndiye arudi ndo watoiwa kule. Sawa. So when you ensure that your right has blocked his of engaging in business in this job, you see now this family is not going to eat
on that day.
On that day. So we are not supposed to block the others from doing whatever they are supposed to do. So we just need to be objective. And that's why I keep saying that anytime ukiona vitu kama ya Saba Saba na ingine, I have a big belief that hiyo haikuwa vitu ya vijana. Because I kept asking, hiyo day kulikuwa na nini ya Saba Saba, I was at some hotel. And I was with some friends who came from the demonstrations, and then they came and joined us pale kwa hoteli. And then they were telling me they cannot go home. Then I was asking them, bro, but it's late, sit wende home. They're like, no, say it's not safe. So I was asking them, if maandamano is yours, how can it be unsafe for you? Because it is your project. If the maandamano is your project, how do you end up not being safe in your own maandamano? So you'll realize most of even the young people during the maandamano, even themselves, they don't want to get out because they're saying it's now not safe. That simply shows you that it has moved away from the agenda of young people. Most of those people I was with that day, they slept in that hotel. Yeah? They didn't dare get out. They slept in that hotel. And I was just simply trying to tell them, now you guys, you see, it simply means this thing, you are not in charge. You are not in charge. And I kept telling them, ask yourself, you have an option. You have gone to maandamano, mwana hii kumenoga umekuja umelala hapa. What is the percentage of young people who are with you on that street who can afford to also come and sleep here? And that's where politicians will keep misleading the public. Politicians go, they want to mislead you, they direct you into the fire, then they retreat into safety. And that's why I agreed with the president when he said rightfully juzi akisema kwamba hii maandamano itafika mahali itaingia Lavington, itaingia Kileleshwa, itaingia Karen. Na itafika. So the only way we can be able to ensure that things work better ni tuwache kwanza, tukubali kama vijana, tukubali kwamba hii kitu iliingiliwa. Na kuna wase wanataka iendelee juu lazima wakuwe job. Naambianga wase ukitaka kujua mtu ana benefit na maandamano, mtu ana insistingi kununua kitu time ya maandamano na hajaitishwa. Maandamano iko tu, kuna msee anataka anunue majeneza. Yeye mbona anataka anunue jeneza?
And leo na Bwana Mwangi
amenua jeneza, si ndio?
I have a lot of contempt for him.
Is he?
Because I knew him after post-election violence.
Yes.
He was parading photos of the dead.
Back in
It was a
2007.
program called Peter Mtana or something. That's what brought him to fame.
Back in 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
So he was doing, I think he was a standard journalist. And
Yes, yes.
once he shot to fame with those, it
Became activist.
Yeah, he became
became an activist. Now, I tend to think for him to be in business, there should be blood on the street. Because how do you explain a person coming to Maandamano with a coffin? What is the intention?
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Unajua kitambo hata kupita kwa shop ya coffin ilikuwa
Tabu.
traumatizing, yani ilikuwa tabu. Hata duka ingine ilifunguliwa karibu na mzee mwingine alicomplain kwa chief mpaka ikafungwa.
Toa hivi vitu hapo.
So kuna some things nimeona during post election violence kukiwa na kesi ICC. There were some leaked emails za activists na donors. So wanasema nimeenda nimechukua victims of post election violence, I've accommodated them. Unaona sijui $20,000 until wakaanza to fight wenyewe
Kwa wenyewe.
wakaanza kuleak
Hizo mapesa.
So kwa hii maandamano kuna watu mara tatu. Kuna wale wenye wako agitated ukweli and they want to see
Change.
nchi imekuwa
Sawa.
nzuri. Those are patriots. Then kuna the political class wenye wana take advantage of the agitation to push their own
Narratives.
agenda. And then kuna wale wenye wanaandikanga proposals for donors.
Yes.
Kenyans are being many, we need resources to print t-shirts, to do what, to mobilize, to nini. Wanapata funding.
Wanapata
And
funding.
then kuna last group ya opportunist. So kuna mtu anajua leo kutakuwa na maandamano, wacha niende nivunje hii duka ama nini.
Yeah.
So unaweza pata pia ni business rivalry. Huyu duka ya huyu na huyu, ninapanga watu wakuja wavute hapo. So hizo nini zinaingia, yani usipokuwa na objectivity, unaona mngesema maandamano tunapitia Ngong Road this time, tunaenda hivi, anybody anapatikana anywhere else, huyo yuko pamoja na hii. Inasaidia kusieve hizi vitu. Lakini saa hii haujui difference ya mhalifu ni nani ule mtu. Lakini you realize at ile time ya Gen Z ile ya kwanza. Once ilianza kuwa rowdy, the real Gen Z walijitoa.
In fact, they trended it on social media. Wakasema, guys, twende home. Twende home.
So saa hii hakuna difference sasa. So in fact nataka hiyo tag ya Gen Z maandamano itolewe. Ndio isipea a bad name
to young people.
To young people. So I think moving on is, I saw Tinga the other day saying we need a national
intergenerational conclave.
Fair enough. A lot of great stride that this nation has made, including independence. It was not the Mau Mau war or something. It was negotiation. Lancaster negotiation. Negotiation has always bring forth meaningful change to this nation than the street methods. So what I'll add to what Aurelliah said is, you know, most of the negotiation we've had as a nation has always been for the political class.
Yeah.
So maybe we can widen. We invite everybody, the religious leaders, border leaders, all aspects of society wakuwe involved na these talks.
Pamoja na maskari tena.
Everybody. Askari ni binadamu kama. In fact, I really pity the police. They're purely paid. Najua ako job, si ati anafurahia kuwa hapo ati. Nani ako job. Job yake pia ni risky. Okay? Mshahara yake
Ni kidogo.
Yeye siku za Christmas nini yako huko kazi. Aendi na familia yake. Mwingine ametupwa mbali na familia yake. Then katikati yao kuna rogue wawili watatu, trigger happy nini. If you don't isolate them, we cannot demonize the entire
Force.
Police force. Because unasema tu police withdraw just for a day. Assume hata hapa in Nairobi tu wale wa traffic tu wa withdraw. Uone chaos yenye. Itakuwa una imagine ati thugs wanakuja kwako, you are crying for help na unajua hakuna mtu atakuja kukusaidia. So we are trading on a very dangerous path. Tunaweza kuwa kama Haiti very soon. Mimi nasema hii area ni yangu, niko na gun one na control. So we need to protect the police, but we need to call out the rogue ones too. So that we don't demonize the entire force. What I lose morale, because imagine mshahara ni kidogo, bado watu raia wanakupiga, bado wanakunini, utachoka tu. So young people, it's my plea. Let's look for solutions. To analyze problems, to say problem ni hii, to list as many as we can. To the cluster. Because we've got tools. We don't even need that conclave thing anasema. Mko na hizo tools zenyu. Muassign rapporteur kwa hizo space zenyu. Mkuje na nini hii ndio shida, zenyu tunaona ndio shida. Through your channels, publicize it, then we start talking solutions now. This one, how do you solve it? This one, how do you solve it? But there's no magic.
That will happen.
There's no magic. Adam, tuandamane leo Ruto atoke. Ask yourself, tuseme kesho Ruto atoke kesho without an election or something. Do you think your life will be better off then than now?
Obviously.
And then akitoka in such means, what stops me from marshalling 100,000 people to march to State House to remove your favorite politician then? So hiyo ndo circle ya instability inaanza. So we should protect, unajua in the region, Kenya ndo inakuwa guaranteed na election every 5 years.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So we should not lose that sight to anze extra constitutional means ya kutoa viongozi.
In the region, by you mean East Africa pekee ama just the whole Africa?
Well, to me, East Africa.
Eastern Africa.
Eastern, yeah.
No.
So we need to protect that at all cost. Otherwise, tutakuwa in an endless cycle of instability. Endless, na maisha itakuwa worse. Airtime ya 100 itakuwa 200. So post-election violence, sijui mlikuwa na miaka ngapi. But cabbage ilikuwa inauzwa 400 cabbage moja. Watu wa sigara ndio waliumia zaidi. Unapata one stick ya sigara unauzwa kama 100. Ilikuwa mbaya. It was bad. So tusirudi hapo kabisa. We should not go back.
Na pia investors wataenda.
Definitely.
Tourists wataenda. Investors wataenda. Kila huyo mtu mwenye amekuandika kazi hapo ataenda. Huyo landlord mwenye amejenga nyumba itakuwa empty. Atakuwa na so tutaendelea kuwa na endless poverty. You see the amount of property that was destroyed during this maandamano, it may wipe out certain wealth ya watu wengine, ya region fulani, area fulani, it wiped out completely. Unajua kubomoa ni rahisi kuliko kujenga. You can burn this house in a matter of hours. But kujenga itachukua 1, 2, 3 years kujenga. So let's put our wanga kwa kujenga nchi, si kuharibu.
Pia freedom ya kutembea wherever we like. I was talking to a friend of mine who anafanya kazi Sudan. The way they had a very good country kitambo. But then as it is now, me moving from here to Embu or Eldoret or wherever.
Inakaa kama ile siku ya lockdown ile ya kati. Imagine na si ati umefungiwa kabisa, that feeling. Huwezi pita hapa uende hapa.
Ama ukienda unafanana na mapolisi just
militia, kuna polisi sasa itakuwa militia. Itakuwa militia na kila mtu atakuwa na wake. Na unajua na wale watu wenye kina Ruto kina nani hawatakuwa na shida. Watoto hao watapelekwa ng'ambo. Wataenda, sisi ndio tutaumia huko. Tunabaki hivi tukipick the pieces. So tuchunge nchi yetu. Sisi hatuna mali nyingine ya kuenda. Wadosi wataenda. Sisi tutaenda wapi?
Sisi tunabaki
tutaenda wapi? Lakini kuna vitu yenye lazima tuseme ukweli. Unaona kitambo nini ilikuwa ya matajiri? Passports ama connection ndio upewe passport. Sasa hii kuna kazini yangu alikuwa ananiambia sasa, naomba si apply tu passport sasa na nini, alipiga simu sijui 4 days amepewa. Ametumia message, your passport is ready for collection. So kumekuwa na efficiency sema kwa hiyo ofisi ya passport. Hii citizen imeniokoa vitu mingi sana. Kitambo nilikuwa naenda queue KRA ku renew driving license. Unaenda KRA unaenda for order unapata line nyingine. Unarudi siku ya pili. So there are some things that vitu zikifanya kazi to encourage. For hii SHA nilikuwa nimeipinga kabisa because kuna my auntie alikuwa hospitali Nakuru na ilifail siku ya kwanza.
When it was just introduced.
Yeah, ilifail. Na nikaenda kwa hospitali wakauliza wakasema sijui hospitali haijapewa logins. Na already NHIF imeshafungwa, hii imeingia. So nilikuwa nimecomplain sana. Nilicomplain kila mahali mpaka. So the next treatment it paid. The other one pia ikalipa. So ilikuwa some teething problems of which instead of killing it tuseme hii ifanye kazi hii part tusaidie hii, because I had noticed hii terminal illness watu wengi walikuwa na complain cancer nini dialysis. So when I went back to the SHA Act, so I saw kulikuwa na fund ya critical illness hizo funds and ilikuwa exchequer, ilikuwa from the exchequer. So kuangalia ile finance bill rejectiwa because it was in the budget. Sasa hiyo ilikuwa inafundiwa na exchequer,
the previous finance bill
direct. So unaona it had to be slashed. So kulikuwa na challenge ya but niliona ililetwa kwa supplementary ya hiyo fund ku action hapo. It was not there. So these things tunasema hii ni mbaya but solution ni hii. Si kusema tu turudi NHIF nilikuwa na sababu watu wachache, the rest wataenda wapi?
The rest wataenda wapi?
So tuwajibike kabisa kama wananchi.
Mundalo.
Yeah. As we wind up, there is something Higgins talked about the police. Kuna kitu we forget. You see most of the police today who are on the street are also Gen Zs.
Yes.
So sometimes we have this imagination that when you are a policeman, it's like you came from the moon. No, they are also just Gen Zs. And they are just also working. And sometimes they are also working, but they have equal the anger you have.
True.
Yeah? Some of them are not policemen by choice. It's because they also failed to get the job they wanted. So they are equally as disappointed.
As we are.
As we all are. So even when we are dealing with them, let us also be humane in dealing with them. I saw instances where mtu anafukuza polisi, anapiga polisi kofi. It's unnecessary. Let us treat them the way we also want to be treated. With dignity. Because that is their job. And let us remember that their role is just as important. I was arguing somewhere that, you see, if you want to know the real importance of the police, let the Inspector General give them an off and announce to this country that for 2 days, between Friday and Monday, all police stations are locked. Please do not make any report to the police station because they have gone on leave. You will see the kind of country we can turn into. So, they are equally as important. And are the challenges that we are seeking as young people justified? Very justified. But the formula of doing it is what we need to fix. So that when we fine-tune it, then we will get tangible results. You see, for instance, last year, the issue was we don't want the finance bill. Clear cut.
Concrete.
Yeah. And that's why the finance bill failed.
Yeah.
It was clear. And that's why you remember after the finance bill being withdrawn and the people saying to the State House during Maandamano, we have people in the protest who started saying, no, that was not the agenda.
That was not the agenda.
Exactly. Now, you come to Ijuzi during the commemoration. Yes, there was a lot of numbers and all that, but the agenda was not clear. So you cannot be able to point at anything that was able to be achieved. You come to Saba Saba, you can't really point at what exactly would be able to be achieved. That's what I'm saying. We must be able to concretize the agenda and then pursue it. Kuna wase wenye wanapenda sana incite young people. And yet they do that for their own politics. When you, they tap into the emotional side because they know you're already annoyed. Yeah? So this person is seated in his very good house, ama ako kwa gari, ako na AC, ako sawa kabisa, but yeye anakuinsight tu, we ujam, ndio yeye benefit. You see, that is the same way someone incited people in Sudan. And all the cameras were there. Kukava hiyo kitu na kusifu wase. Kusema, the young people have spoken. But then, when they were able to achieve this regime shake-up, they had no plan of, okay, alafu then. And that's why, up to today, even me and you don't know what is happening in Sudan because the cameras went off. No one now, everything got shut down. We have a country to protect as a people. The biggest responsibility we have, all the problems that we are talking about today as a people, we must get to know that the fact that we are even talking about them is a step in the right direction. We must not end up in a situation where we can't even talk about it because there is no country to even speak in. So that's why I said it yesterday, that as horrendous, traditional, archaic as Raila Odinga's idea of a conversation is, it is the only way forward. Because regardless, whichever decision you choose to make, whichever way we choose to go as a country today, even if the president leaves State House today and goes, the only way we'll get back on track is we will sit down and talk. There is always no other formula. Every country, no matter what you do, even if we go block everything, at the end of the day, for there to be a country, we will sit and talk. So why wait and talk then when we can just talk now? Let us start having the conversations now and let us be as objective as possible. Remember, in this era of digital literacy, we have AI and all. We can get quick information, we can verify. So that mse tu asituuzie uongo fulani na tunabai na tunaenda nayo na tunakasirika. Na mse tu ameamua tu, mtu ameamka tu akaandika headline akasema ati president builds 1.2 billion church. Mse tu ameamka. Mse mwingine ameamka akaandika tu kikitu. But then it annoys us. And then we go that direction when we can just verify. Because that little element to just verify will help us know that this is right and this is wrong and this is like this. Just that time to verify. And two, as we use the technology, let's also be aware that technology is as good when we use it properly, and it can also be as dangerous when we use it badly. Remember, sasa pia technology inaweza tu kuannoy. Juu unasimama hivi kwa video ya Higgins, juu Higgins anaongeanga vitu wewe unadai. The algorithm picks. Inajua huyu Higgins alikuwa anaongea vitu against gava. Na wewe so inakuleteanga tu hizo. So wewe unaishi tu umejam. You are just consuming that content and getting more and more annoyed. And sometimes the people you are even consuming from are not necessarily factual. So let us start by, first of all, with fact check. And second, let us be objective. Let's start having an honest conversation. I want us to be able to sit down as young people and say, hii gava haitubambi. Lakini kwa sababu ya 1, 2, 3, sio tu haitubambi. Unajua hizi tu ati haitubambi kwa nini ati jua haitubambi. Unajua sasa hiyo inakuwa kidogo ati hivyo tu. To analyze, tuseme haitubambi juu ya hii na hii na hii. Na tunataka hii na hii na hii ifanyike. When we are able to be like that and we become objective, even when we want to direct our anger, we will direct it to the right places, we will direct it to the right institutions. When we want policemen who have done something wrong to be brought to book, we will channel it to IPOA. When we think there is a justice problem, we will channel it to the judiciary. When we think there is an employment problem, we will call out the National Employment Authority. When we think there is something legislative that is a problem, we will go to the parliament. When we think there is something in the manifesto of UDA that has not been implemented, we will look for the UDA party leader. You get? Yeah. Then that way, we will be able to concretize. But at the end of the day, even as much as whatever we do, the people must remember that it is not always as bad as it seems. We still have a country. So let us also not be extremely disillusioned. Let us play a role and make country better.
I find it very simple. Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. Yeah. That people brings us to the close of the show. Hata sitaki bado kuongea mingi, sijakuwa nikiongea mingi. And wote tumesikia what they have said. Let us trust, let us verify what we hear on the social media, and let us be objectives on what we want as the people, and the young nation people. Till next time.